Bueno, and I am here today to talk to you about laughter and the brain, a subject very often misunderstood. The brain is a subject where we have yet to discover, while laughter is the same. My presentation will demonstrate how laughter can be a subject that makes us happy and sometimes even sad. For example, when you laugh so much you end up crying. In other words, as people say, crying of joy, or even sadness. Perhaps you're so exhausted your body goes on shock and you start laughing at about anything, and sometimes you just burst in tears. This subject is something we should carefully go through and take the time to explain, as it consists of information that can help us go through the span of our lifetime, and how this can cause us either good or bad. It is not too long ago Sophie Scott explained to us very well that it is in an international TED Talk how neuroscientists and psychologists had to look somewhere they don't normally do to find out more information about laughter. You find out that laughter comes through joy, tickling, jokes, and even play. Where you find it, it is associated with interactions. It is proven, as Sophie Scott said it herself, that we are 30% most likely to laugh when you are with someone rather than alone. This said, laughter does indeed come mostly from social interactions and conversations. What people actually consider laughter is not indeed accurate. Most times, when you're laughing, you're with family or friends, and so laughing at their jokes is more a way for you to show them you understand them, you like them, or even that you love them more than anything else. Your brain, has this weird way to interact with people. Therefore, the way our brain has decided to show through the years, as what we now call laughter, is actually simply a way of showing emotions to whomever you're with during your time of laughter. Made through the years have been shown that laughter and the brain have their own term, gelotology. It being responsible for certain parts of the brain, are indeed responsible for certain human functions, like mentioned before. For example, emotions and their emotional response. Marshall Brain then goes on to say that even though laughter and the brain are yet still not fully understood, we are yet making some progress. For example, back to the brainwaves, which we were talking about earlier. The scientists have found that electroencephalogical graphs, making it that if the brain was charged with a negative charge resulting in laughter, because the use of intercostal muscle in order to breathe in and out. You see, every time you breathe, your ribcage makes an inner and outer movement, going at a very normal pace. This being, when you talk, you start getting faster movements by the second. But it is only breathing and talking's nightmare that makes the worst happen. You see, every time you laugh, your ribcage goes into an extremely fast waves of movements, giving you spasms, which will only cause you to make weird breathing noises. Well, there you go. If you were ever wondering why, here's your answer. Don't worry. This does not come to you as any harm, only a strong use of your muscle at the same time. For example, when you go to the gym and work out multiple muscles in your legs, it is 100% normal that it will hurt afterwards. In terms of science, in laughter, there isn't very much to say so far, but that pretty much everything we think we know about laughter is wrong. You see, so it isn't so unusual to hear people say we are the only animals to laugh, when in fact, although that isn't correct, you will in fact find laughter through all the mammals in the world, whether it is monkeys, rats, mouse, elephants, or any other animal really. In conclusion, the brain is sometimes something we have yet a lot to discover about. For example, laughter. And in fact, we have not yet really gotten their connections. Although researchers have come in handy finding us more than enough facts, there is still much more to discover in order to understand better what they have in common. For now, we got to say that humans have in fact taken for granted what was said in the past about us being the only animals who can laugh, and to reassure you in any concerns about stomach pain and what can cause us to do weird things during laughter. And finally, the true meaning behind laughter.